Okay, so first let me give an overview. This is my upstairs hallway. It's kind of dark. Well, no, it's kind of dark because I have the power disconnected, sort of. That open is there's power to that right now. Very dangerous, but it's the only way I've been able to track this down. Do not try this at home, so forth and so on. But anyway, you come in around, and this is one of my bedrooms, okay? And that is the only light switch. This is the only door, so it makes sense that this light switch would turn that light on and off. And as you can see, that light is on. The light switch, none of the wires are connected, so this couldn't possibly be turning that on. I've been trying to figure out why this light switch doesn't turn that light on and off for a couple of days now. And I've been trying to do it safely by, I turn off the power and then I try to do things and everything. And I've finally just been like, I've got to take some risks. Again, do not try this at home. Any electrician will tell you this is dangerous. But the power is on right now, so those wires are live. What we've got here is 3 bundles. We have 2 conductors coming in this way, 3 conductors coming in this way, and 3 conductors coming in from the bottom. That doesn't make any sense. The only real reason for running 3 conductors, there's 2 reasons for it. One is if it's a 2-way switch where there's 2 switches that work together. So either one, like on a stairs, we have a switch at the top and the bottom. Then you need a 3 conductor thing between the switches. The other reason is if it's 220 volt. And, lights and that sort of thing don't run off at 220 volt. But what does in this house are these baseboard heaters. So I don't know factually if they just ran the 3 conductor because they had it, because they already had it from running that, or I don't know why it's 3 conductor. But after a lot of fidgeting around, I'm starting to understand why I'm so confused. This switch is clearly not powering that light because all the wires are disconnected. By the way, this one at the upper left, the upper left black one, which is really hard to see because of the light. The upper left black one is the hot one. None of the other wires have power to them right now. But the light is on, which means since that hot wire isn't connected to anything, clearly, it's not doing anything. So that explains why all my efforts to fix this have failed, is because it's not connected to that at all. But at the same time, I have to figure out what is going on, because that light right there is turned on. And as you can see, it's not on. And the reason is because this black wire on the right goes to, and this is kind of entertaining because people have suggested that this is a 3-way, like this is 3-way and one of these switches goes to something else. But no, the other thing that people have suggested is that the switch was supposed to turn on the outlets. But the problem is if we go into the neighboring bedroom, which is my office, none of the outlets are on in here either, because that's not connected. If I take and use this, again, do not try this at home. Use this, and I'm not going to try to do it one-handed with the camera, but what I did was I used this to temporarily jump. Guess I killed the battery on the light. If I use that to jump those 2 wires, that light comes on and the outlets in the next room come on too. So clearly this needs to be hardwired to the other one to run those outlets. So on the one hand, I hardwire those together, but that's also the power source. So what that tells me is if this switch, so the point is you would never have a switch that turns the outlets on in the next room. So that doesn't make any sense. So this switch had to be intended for that light, but obviously it's not currently wired that way. So what I think is going on, here's my theory at this point, is the first thing to keep in mind is that I'm omitting the bare wires, the ground wires, because they're just for safety and you just tie them all together. And I'm omitting the white wires because they don't really do anything and you just twist all them together. So this is what I've got. I've got one bundle coming in from the top left with just 2 wires, the white and the black. Bundle coming in from the top right with 3 wires, red, black, and white, and then another one with 3 wires coming in from the bottom. I get power here. This is a 120 volt source. There's no power in any other of these. Connecting power to this doesn't do anything. So what I ended up doing, I capped this wire with a wire nut because it doesn't do anything, but just to be safe, I've got it capped so it can't short off against anything. I connected this hot wire to the wire that goes out to the outlets. So that way when the power comes on, I've got outlets. And then I connected these two wires to the light switch. Now that currently doesn't do anything, so why did I do it? Well, I did it because I'm making a guess. This guess is based on some pretty good evidence, based on all the messing around I did, is that there's a separate hot wire that comes up to the fan/light that is currently just hardwired directly into the fan and light. So what I can do is connect the hot wire back to the switch and then the red wire to the light, and then this switch will actually control the light again. And what's interesting is I can actually connect the hot wire directly to the fan so that the switch doesn't turn the fan on and off, and you can use the pull chain for that. But the light switch, it makes sense. You don't have to walk halfway into the room to turn the light on. So I'm hoping this is how this is wired in the ceiling. And if it's not, I'll pop this cover back off, and I don't know, once I learn it, I'll figure it out. But I wired it, put it back together so there's no exposed wires, everything's put away. And I'm hoping that I'll find what I think I'm going to find in the ceiling when I get around to it, and then I'll actually be able to finally finish this.